who have become brothers sit down and discuss random topics, or even break down a bracket and even discuss American sports and news. Now sit back and relax as we give you our thoughts and honest opinions on the topics at hand. Once again, thanks for picking Highway 34 Connection.
The following podcast may use videos, pictures, news articles, and even audio from another channel. Highway 34 Connection doesn't own the rights to those. We will shout out who or where we get them for the podcasts. They own the copyrights, not us here at Highway 34 Connection. Please remember that all of our podcasts are unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited. Podcasts we do are pro wrestling talk, where we discuss the world of pro wrestling and give spoilers.
Talking football, where we talk about the current season of the NFL, XFL and USFL, where we give our thoughts on each week of gameplay. We also give our predictions on what teams will win each game.
Conspiracy theories, we sit down and talk about conspiracy theories and why we think something is real or just a theory.
Let's chat it up. This is a podcast where we just talk about random topics here on the channel. We could talk about anything, so please be warned, our podcasts are intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome to Highway 34 Connection. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conspiracy Night. This is Insidious over there on the Ghost. And we're going to talk about what's happening tomorrow at approximately, depending on where you're at, 11 to 1 o'clock. We're going to talk about the solar eclipse. Now, for anybody that's warning this, if you don't like us talking politics or religion, this is probably not going to be the conspiracy for you today, because there's going to be quite a bit of religious talking to this one. So, that being said, let's start with the beginning. Everyone knows, generally people know what a solar eclipse is, but just for those that don't, a solar eclipse is when the moon goes completely in between the sun and the earth, causing darkness. It shadows it out. Sometimes you get the little ring that's around it. So what we're going to be talking about is just how interesting there's 3 solar eclipses that's happened within recent years, and how they could connect to the end times that's prophesied in the Judeo-Christian faith. So, that being said, I'm going to start off by talking about the first solar eclipse. The solar eclipse that happened on... Now, I want to, before I continue, I need to mention that I talked some of the information that I'm getting it from is a man by the name of Dr. Dale Sides. He runs his own Christian thing called Liberating Ministries. He's a personally good friend of my friend and my dad. He's a family friend, and he's taught me and my dad a lot of things when it comes to religious stuff. So he knows what he's talking about. So I got to give a shout out to him, because I don't want to look like I'm just copying everything. Now, the very first solar eclipse happened, the American solar eclipse that I want to bring up to you, happened on August the 21st of 2017. Now, what happened during this eclipse is kind of interesting. It went... Okay, just make sure I got my notes written down correctly. Anyway, behind the moon during that first solar eclipse was the constellation Leo. And as most people know, Leo is the lion, and it's also designed as the king. I would say that this reference as the king is returning in some cases on that. Now, I'm trying to figure out my notes here. So you have something to say while I'm trying to get this shit together?
The moment, not really.
Okay.
I'm just kind of going through some stuff.
Okay. So the second eclipse was on October the 14th, 2023. Behind that, on that moon, was Circa in the constellation of Virgo. So in Virgo, in Circo, Leo and Virgo together, it talks about where kingdoms change. So a beginning and an ending there. Beginning and ending. And now the third one, which is happening tomorrow, April 8th, 2024. It'll be in the band of the constellation Pisces.
Yep.
Okay, Pisces, and it's going to be on the shackle of the two fish. So it's basically saying we're going to be binded. And here's an interesting thing. So we're talking about Leo, we're talking about kingdoms change, and we're talking about bindage. And the days. Hey, so and do you want to know something very interesting? The amount of days in between the first and the third, solar eclipse is exactly 2,422 days. And if you divide that by 30 months, you get 6.66666666 repeating.
You know, this is a conspiracies podcast. Correct. I'm going to chime in on this because if you do more math with NASA and do that same division, there's another 66666 in there too.
Okay.
Somebody was telling me about this yesterday, and hearing you mention the math, and then that just brought up the and that's weird because this is weird because this is two totally different topics. But I remember that same math equation that a guy just told me at work yesterday from NASA.
But check this out. It's more to it than that. It's not just 6.666. It's not that amount of days, 2,122 that I said. It's also 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days.
Yep.
Okay, so check this out. During that first eclipse that happened in 2017, it came in through Salem, Oregon, and left Salem, South Carolina.
Yep.
And it went through 7 cities, all named Salem, throughout America.
Yeah.
Now, Salem is the base for Jerusalem, and Salem, Jerusalem, is the city of peace. And as you know, as I already said, it was in the constellation of Leo. The king is to bring the peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one, as I said, it was in Virgo. The coming of the changing of kingdoms. And the third one in Pisces, where there's bindage, which means there will be a war.
And you know, I'm not going to cut you off. I'm not going to change topic, but I'm really glad you brought that part up because I also read on a YouTube title today: "Is America really about to have the same fate as the Roman Empire?"
Well, also during this third eclipse, all the planets is going to be on the same side of the sun as the sun.
Yes.
So we'll be able to see all our planets that we can normally visually see all at once during this eclipse.
Except for people that are working, like me.
Well, that's beside the point. Get a telescope.
I have one, but I'll be at work. There's a difference. See the word work. Big WORK in there.
Yeah.
See, we don't get schools to go outside and start taking pictures of something. Still got to make that money.
You should also take a look at the intersections that are in the eclipses as well. Some of them are over fault
How it makes
lines.
an X. Yes, and that's actually something I wanted you to bring up because you looked back. Did you see what happened a day after each one of those happened?
One of them, there were a few earthquakes.
And one of them was the Madridian, which sits on the Iowa Missouri border.
Exactly.
And my dad brought that one up, and he goes, and Atumwa did feel it. It shook.
Okay. And now here again, I already told you I'm using part of the guy's YouTube, so I'm going to quickly share this. Okay. The guy's a friend of mine, so the only thing I have to worry about is YouTube being pissy wissy with me. This guy's a friendly friend. I know he wouldn't mind me sharing a few things off of his YouTube page because, yeah, like family friend, and he would love to have this stuff switched on. Okay, do you see this?
Hey, blow it up,
These
blow
are
it
the
up, blow it
path.
up, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up, up. Get all
Okay,
those ads out of there.
thank you, thank
Yep,
you.
there's the X that they were referring to.
What? Okay, so the first one right here is the first eclipse in 2017.
Yep.
Here's the second one. Here's one, and this is the one that's going to be for tomorrow. Now, if you can take a look, this is down here is where is that fault line that you were talking about right here, and look at the name of the city is called Little Egypt. Egypt,
Yeah. Yep.
like bindeds, like trying to get away.
hmm
And down here is where all the issue is on the border.
hmm
Now take a look. Take a look at the lettering. Do you see this lettering?
hmm
This interesting looking, funky looking A here.
Yep.
Okay,
Kind of looks like Dean Ambrose's old shirt.
check this out.
Yep. If you get rid of that lower one, you have a perfect cross.
With the X, you have the Hebrew Tav, and with the A that we just saw is the Hebrew letter Aleph. Now Aleph and
What is?
Tav, when said together, wait, I'm gonna tell you. In Hebrew, when translated to English, Aleph and Tav means the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega.
Yep.
So what do you think?
So you're following the same. You're following. Yeah, you're following the same former research that I am here.
Yeah.
Like
Now,
there's a lot of biblical scholars that are all over this. So bear in mind, I was going to bring this up to him Monday, actually, or was it Tuesday? It was whenever I changed your tire. Yeah, Tuesday. So I was actually going to bring this up to him because he asked why I was what I knew. And at the time, I'm like, well, you're about that time he got a phone call from his wife, so I didn't have time to explain it. But so he did the research on his own, and I've been researching this stuff since I first heard about it. And when they start breaking into scripture in detail, and you look around, and it almost isn't a theory anymore. If you read the parts of the Bible that they're giving you, and you look around, and mostly towards the Middle East.
Revelation.
Yeah, and you look mostly towards the Middle East, and you can tell that this is not good. Like, you don't have to even be Christian right now to actually just look at what's going on around you. Actually look at the US, look at Facebook, look at Instagram, look at your news. Like, evil is literally top 10 everywhere. Hatred is everywhere. Like,
sorry. Well,
it's there, man.
So here's the thing. Do you know what exactly is 40 days after the 8th?
No, not a clue.
40 days, which is a big key number in the Bible. as you know, 40 days and nights for the rain, 40 days that Jesus was walked on the earth after he was resurrected. It's a big number in the
Yes.
Bible. 40 days after tomorrow, April 8th, is the day of Pentecost.
Yeah. Pentecostal.
Yeah. Coincidence? Maybe.
Well, that's what. Well, that's why.
Conspiracy?
Well,
I mean,
that's.
conspiracy?
Well,
That's what we're
that's.
here to talk about.
Well, that's what I. That was where I was going with all this. I mean, you don't have to be even to be a Christian scholar to know that hey, these people might be onto something. Because never before in my lifetime have I seen the amount of evil that I have seen in the past 2 freaking years. Like there is nobody literally caring about anybody anymore.
I know you watch.
Like, well, not even that. You know your neighbors, but you remember when we were kids growing
I
up,
don't
our
know. I don't.
mom and dad knew everybody. Our parents knew everybody in the neighborhood. Not one, not two. They knew people 5 houses down and 2 blocks over.
The sad thing is,
And
I don't know my neighbors.
yeah, me neither. And you know why? Because if you even try, you're not on my Facebook. I don't know you. Get off my property. That's the world we live in to
I
where
wave at them.
we
I wave at
literally,
them and say hello every time I see them.
yeah, but yeah,
But
that's
there's
what I'm
also
saying.
part
We
of it.
live
But
so
there's
much.
also in my defense, there's a language barrier there.
Well, I think the point I'm trying to make is we depend on technology so fucking much that it has literally divided our whole social life. If we're
Is
not
that
talking through a phone,
that
hold
could
on,
be
hold on,
true?
hold on. Is it? Is it not? Is it not? I mean,
Okay, fine.
how often do
What
we?
if we were
I'm
my
not
neighbor?
talking about me and you. I'm not talking about me and you. I'm talking about people outside of us. When was the last time you talked to an actual person, let's say next door to you or even down the street, and
Every time I
actually
see them,
tried to have a, I said, try to talk. And most generally, you get blowed off. And why? Because to them, you're not on their Facebook friends list. They don't know you, don't care to know you because you don't know them personally, and they don't give you that benefit of that. Now, if you would have inbox them, I bet you can say hi, I'm your neighbor, and I just wanted to let you know who I am. You would get a good response 9 times out of 10, guaranteed. You would get a response out of that
I almost
because
forgot something.
let's face it, the face-to-face interactions are almost dead.
Yeah. By the way, the third line for
And
the
obviously, by the 2 people that left when they heard me say and brought up my phone and said, "You're not my Facebook list," obviously they knew I was correct, and that's why they left.
anyway, the third line for the uh shit for the eclipse are going to be going through 7 cities named Nineveh.
Okay, that I'm familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And that part I did know too.
And that's
Like I
part of
said, you've done similar research that I have. Pretty much the same research.
uh I told you I got this from a minister that basically taught me a lot of things. So this guy's out to be. This guy doesn't usually screw around on things like this.
Well, the things I don't screw around on are things that I see. And let me tell you, you know me. I'm not a very religious person, but even I can tell there's something weird going on.
Come here. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi to everybody. Yeah. Say hi, Aqua.
Hi, Aqua, big girl.
Yeah. All right. So we got the first eclipse that goes over 7 cities of Salem. You have a second eclipse and is in front of the constellation Leo, which means king. We got a second eclipse that makes that crosses it over. That's inside of the constellation Virgo, which means kingdom change. And you got the third one that's going over Nineveh, which is 7 cities called Nineveh, and it's in front of the constellation of Pisces, telling us binding to change, there's going to be a war. So when you put all three of those together, and the way they make the Hebrew alphabet, Alpha and Omega, then you get the in between the first and the third one was 6 months, 6 days, and 6 years. 40 days after the third one is the day of Pentecost. I mean, how many signs do we need that says there's something going on here?
I've asked that question that 100 times over. Like, how much more do we need?
Well, here's the thing. God is not making it difficult. He's telling us, hey, get your shit together, repent, be ready. He doesn't want any of us to miss the kingdom. He doesn't. He makes it so simple to make it to the kingdom, and yet we
make it so hard on ourselves.
Bingo. We make it hard on our own selves. I mean, these are signs in the stars, the heavens. And
well, temptation is key, and I think it's
deception is the key.
No, temptation is the hard part, because why would you try to be good when it's so easy to be bad?
Because you're deceived.
No, it's the idea that why should I try? If you look at it from a point of view, trust me, I live this way, and to me, it is easier to sin. It is. It's 10 times easier.
Well,
because every day you will have temptation. Every day it is a fight of temptation. So, is it easier to fight the temptation, or is it easier to give into it?
Well, here's how you should answer that. Here, we're only on this planet for 80 years.
Until we die.
On average. 80 years?
Well, that's if you don't get hit by a bus, or chances of getting hit by a meteorite.
My point is, average is about 80 years, give or take. And you want to trade all that for an eternity?
You only live once.
Just saying that's
So, I get it. I get what you're saying. Trust me, I'm following. And trust me, I have these own spiritual debates with myself every day. And I'm pretty sure that, one day I might actually have answers for myself.
The sad thing is, I kind of am curious on who was the two that left.
Probably some randos I really don't care about. And like I said, they quit when I mentioned Facebook friends. See, that's the thing when you know you're right, is because people leave. They don't want to hear about that.
Or they think you're full of shit.
No, they know you're right. Because honestly, think about it. If you're not, I don't know you, you're not on my Facebook friends, so why should I talk to you?
That way we can
it's common knowledge. They don't want to become friends with you because they don't know you. They don't want to give you that chance. That's what I said. We depend on so much on technology that, invite your friends. Okay, back in the day, we used to invite our friends over for dinner. Nowadays, we don't do that.
The best way
we have social calls.
You're right. The way people would make friends back in the day is that, hey, I'm getting a couple of guys together for a barbecue. Why don't you get a couple of your friends out? We can have some fun.
Exactly.
It's called
nowadays, socializing is, I have a Facebook post to put up. Or, hey, we're going to have a group session on Zoom.
I'm going to laugh if one day a big blue happens and all of a sudden all of social media is destroyed for just 3 days.
People will lose their minds.
I mean, you got family, you have
trust me.
Kids. What would they do?
My daughter, my stepdaughter over here. Trust me, if she didn't have her phone for more than 10 seconds, the whole world's gonna come to an end. They depend on that thing.
Not true.
Oh yeah, when was the last time you set it down and actually just did something else? without having a TV on and it on at the same time and only paying attention to one of them? When was the last time you actually just watched the full movie without your phone in your hand?
With my mother when we were watching.
And how long ago was that? Exactly. And ain't left your hand since. That was a week ago. You heard that. A week ago.
Well,
she has not let her go down then. Since. No, I'm not joking, dude. She'll have a TV on, and she'll have YouTube on her TV, and have YouTube on her phone. And she's only paying attention to one of them. And you know what I do? I take my hefty remote and I shut her TV off.
Does she even notice you did that?
No.
See, that's the key right there. That's how you know.
No. And she goes, well, and here it is, like 10 minutes later, she'll come in. Well, I just shut my TV off because we're not going to waste electricity. Pick one. Took you 10 minutes. It's been off for 10 minutes, and it took you that long to realize I shut it off. Which one do you pay attention to more?
Well, in my fairness, I can pay attention to both the TV and my phone at the same time. Heidi can't, but I'm pretty good.
Well, I can do it. I can do it if I'm following two different videos. Mainly if I'm trying to compare. And I do that in the mornings when the kids ain't here. When I want to see what one, means I've been following this. So I'll see what one guy says and I'll compare it to the other guy. Here lately, all of them are on the exact same track. And that's a scary thought when you have three people and both three people are from different parts of the freaking U.S. and they're all saying the same thing, including one from Israel. So I forgot about that one. And did I mention the one from Israel is an actual Jew? And he's talking about this?
Well, most people from Israel are Jews, so I'm not.
Well, he's a Jewish Christian. I'll take that back. He's a Jewish Christian.
How can you be a Jewish Christian? You're either a Jew or you're a Christian. Those are two different religions.
Nope, there is Jewish Christians because there is ones that believe in Jews. It's Jews that converted to Christians, so they're called Jewish Christians.
That's not. No, they're just called Christians.
If you look in the Bible, when God refers to Jews, he refers to the people of Israel. The Jews took on a whole different faith.
Because Christians weren't Christians yet. We didn't exist till Acts chapter 2.
Exactly. So that's why you get the term Jewish Christians, because they are Jews that have found Christianity.
Okay, fine.
And this guy can break it down for you.
No, that's bullcrap. What do you call
Muslims? He can break it down for you.
Muslim Christians?
No, you just called them stupid for not doing the right way the first time.
Rob, come on, don't be a dick.
Hey, you asked. I'm being blunt.
People convert all the time.
I did not. I ain't the one that gave them the names. You talked to the Jews that gave them names Jewish Christians. I don't know why the Muslims didn't change their name to Muslim Christians. Mainly because if they're Muslim, then they would have probably configured to keep worshiping their Muslim God that doesn't exist.
You do realize that Muslims have been known to convert to Christianity, right?
Yeah, and they still think that not eating pork is a bad thing. Is a good thing. Weird, huh? Even though it is a bad thing, but that's a conversation for another day.
No, it's not. We're not bound by the Mosaic Law anymore.
The what law?
Really, Christians are not bound by the Mosaic Law.
What are you talking about?
How hard are we talking? Christians are not bound by the Mosaic Law.
Mosaic law? What do you what?
Mosaic. It's the law that Moses wrote.
But Jesus does tell you what you're supposed to eat, and nothing with a hoof, which counts as a pig.
Hold on. Jesus transitioned things. He moved some things around, and then when Paul came onto the scene, he changed things even more. That's why we're not bound by a lot of laws that the old Jewish people had to do. We don't have to grow the beards. We don't have to wear certain things. We're not forbidden to eat things.
Well, good, because I can't grow a beard anyways. I'm white trash. It doesn't work.
Point is that Paul did away with a lot of those things when he wrote the New Testament, and we're under a different law.
Okay, fair enough. But
some things were converted over. There are some things that we still keep in the Old Testament and put in the New. I mean, that's why every time a Christian has a argument with a homosexual, they're like, "Oh, well, you Christians do this." Yeah, well, we're not bound by that no more. Well, then we can do what we want. No, because it still says no homosexuality in the New Testament. So
but we can also pick and choose that us as Christians do not have the right to tell people that they are going to go to hell because of it.
It's not our job. Not our job to judge like that.
Sure, we can tell them it's bad till the cows come home, but deep down inside, we cannot tell them that they can't, or that they're going to go to hell for it. And that's where a lot of them are coming from. That's why a lot of them do not go into churches or anything else, because they think that they will be shunned out by that. Now, granted, I don't know much about what laws have been changed and what hasn't. But I do know that you don't let evil into your congregation because it can bring your congregation down. So I don't know what the statute of limitations are on that.
Well, here's one. The 10 Commandments weren't even transferred over.
Yeah, I know. I think it's funny that people still think God's name in vain is cursing after saying God, or saying God before a curse word. Totally inaccurate. Totally inaccurate.
Now, Christians are supposed. No, the Old Testament had 10 commandments. The Christians have 2 commandments. We have 2.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, you're going to have to enlighten me on that one.
We're not allowed to worship any other God other than the Father.
We knew that. Okay, that one I get.
And 2, we're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves.
Well, okay, half of my neighbors are idiots. Say it proudly.
Not that kind of neighbor, and you know it.
I'm sorry, but they are. Next.
Those are the 2.
Okay, here's the thing.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the cool thing about it. If you love your neighbor, would you steal from him? No.
Depends it depends if I did.
If you love your neighbor, would you kill him? No. So see, the 10
Commandments. It depends how bad he pissed me off.
So the 10 Commandments are still there. They're just rewritten for us to make life simpler and easier for us to follow.
You know what? You know what's easier for me to follow? Never mind.
You like your beer? You like your
tequila? No, not really. No, not really. Whiskey? I don't drink until I'm drunk.
Oh, fuck.
See, that's the difference between me and everybody else. I don't drink until I'm drunk. I've only done it a couple times. Mostly depends on my mood. But I drink mostly anymore because it's good to clean out your kidneys every once in a while. It's good to clean out the toxins out of your liver every once in a while.
They do claim wine is good for your blood. Fair enough.
Who the hell drinks wine? I drink fucking vodka. Beer. Shit that really deep cleans that shit. You know, a beer away keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, sure. I do not think that's the slogan. I'm going to tell my doctor you said that. He's going to look at me like an idiot.
No, he's actually going to look at you and tell you he's right because I heard it from a doctor.
Yeah,
not joking.
All right. Yeah, your doctor.
No, I'm not kidding. I can tell you a little story real quick. My father-in-law actually told me this. He said when he was younger, he had a kidney infection. Hold on. No. This goes along. So he said when he was about 6. Bear in mind, this is probably 50s because he just turned 76, I do believe. So yeah, this would have probably been 50s or 60s. He said his dad took him and they had a really bad kidney infection, and doctor told him go home and buy him a 6-pack of beer, give him 1 a day. So that was back then. Because beer is a cleanser, cleans, sterilizes. It's also why you piss more than you actually get drunk, or it takes more to get you drunk. Okay, back on topic at hand. In other words, just take a look around. Tell me what y'all see. Because that's ironic for the amount of people that claim Christianity is fake or doesn't exist. But yet when an disaster or something happens, they're the first ones to get on their knees and start praying. Or wind up at a church. I see them all the time on Facebook. We know one.
Oh,
I'm an atheist. Yeah. Our
oh, that
old buddy
guy.
we like to argue with. Yeah. As soon as a tornado or something happens, what does he say? Praying for you. Wait a minute. No, you're atheist. You don't believe in it. You said it. You know, it kind of goes along that road. But in my opinion, evil is definitely at an all-time high in this country, and it's just getting more and more bigger by the day.
Mm-hmm.
I've just never seen so much negativity in my lifetime, I'll tell you that. See? Another one. Didn't like what we were talking about. Left. See? I'm getting good at this shit.
I even
You
know
want
it's
to scare
left
people
one.
off? Yeah, it just came in left. That's it. Just start talking about the Bible, man. They all start leaving. It's funny. They're scared of it. They're scared to hear God's name and they leave.
All right. So,
Hey, have you ever mentioned God in front of a Nancy Pelosi? She looks like she's about to die. She gets disgusted.
well, do you have anything else to add for about the comments or the comments? Fucking me, I'm tired. The damn solar eclipse.
No, actually, I do not.
All right.
But I do have something to talk to you about, but I'm not going to do it on here. So, with that being said, I think we're going to wrap this up. Have a good night, y'all, and have a good Sunday.
Gonna play the video.
I am Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
This is the Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.